Hi David, thanks for joining us on the Recruitment Garage today. So for our listeners, I've invited David Macciocca in today from Videomyjob to talk about all things video. David comes from a background in recruitment and has recently started Videomyjob, so almost a couple of years ago now. Haven't you, David?
We launched in April 2016, so just over a year ago, yeah.
Great, okay. So firstly, just for the benefit of the people watching, just give us a little bit about your background and why you founded Videomyjob.
Yeah, no worries. So, I've been in recruitment since 1999 and really love recruitment. Like most people, I accidentally got into recruitment. So I went travelling to London. I used to study electrical engineering and used to program in C++. And anyway, I deferred from university. I went to London and someone asked me to upload some resumes on a database. So that's what I did. It happened to be a technology recruitment company, and I found myself talking to software engineers, within about 3 months. So, fell in love very quickly in the recruitment industry. It was a really exciting time back then. The companies that I used to represent, some of them didn't have websites. There was Y2K as well, which was disastrous for the world. But what I used to program in mainly was reducing the chip size within computers and televisions. If you remember, they were really thick back then, and companies like Sony, Motorola and Philips, they were all trying to reduce the depth of that screen to make it thinner. So the C++ engineers that I used to represent, they used to try to reduce that screen, so I could tell who the good ones were and who the bad ones, or the ones that weren't so as talented. And so I was very quickly good at recruitment because I could understand the technical contribution, which hooked me. And then I got to travel, and I was working in a really cool environment as well and rewarded. So I did that for 5 years. And then I came back to Melbourne, where I'm from, and I worked for Randstad for a year. And then I set my own recruitment company up in People Hunt, which I ended up selling in 2015.
Well done.
So 5 years in the UK, a year in Melbourne, and then decided to do it myself. And we were never a big company. We never got bigger than say 10 or so recruiters, so considered to be more of a niche or a boutique type technology recruitment company. So in 2013, we started recording all our jobs. We turned one of the meeting rooms that we had, which we weren't really using much of, into a studio, and we just started recording all our jobs. So every job that came through, we would just jump on and film it with a camera, and it was really powerful. A digital footprint just went through the roof, and we're filling jobs faster. Clients really loved the way we're representing them, so we got even more clients to work with, and we're just reducing the time to hire. It was really good, and lots of really cool candidates were coming forward because they could tell we understood what our clients were looking for, which was nice. And we got nominated for a number of awards in 2014, which then just led to the acquisition. And I just thought everyone should recruit this way, so I thought I'd build an app. So
and here you are.
So here we are. We've really worked hard to get it to where it is today, but it took us about 6 months to build a product where we took it to a few customers, GE, American Insurance Group, the company that acquired my company, Launch Group, and a few others in December 2015. And as you know, recruiting around that time can be quite difficult because people are on holiday, but it went really well. GE moved on to a global pilot, so 950 recruiters and 30,000 hiring managers. That was a real success. We also introduced it to 24 companies, and we asked them to partner with us, and then we just learned so much, which enabled us to then to open the door for all companies to start using the product in April last year.
So that's really interesting. So what are some of those learnings, David, that might be interesting for some of the recruitment owners? Do you mean was that in terms of the business, or actually what video could offer and how people could implement it?
Yeah, we initially were getting mixed up for a video candidate platform. We're the only product out there that I know of anyway, even today, that enable you to film a job. And so filming, editing, and being able to distribute it really quickly. So it was it was certainly a new way to recruit a year or so ago. I think companies are more on trend now with building their value proposition and understanding that video is a really powerful way to push a message out, and they're very open to it. So, but yeah, it's a bit of a learning experience. I mean, the fact is, recruiters have never been on camera before, so our software has to make it really easy for them to do that. So,
yeah, I imagine that's one of the psychological hurdles, probably one of the bigger ones. I would have thought. Yeah.
It can be, yeah, it can be. But what we've done to really make it easy for people through Videomyjob is most people are reading from a teleprompter, and you can't see that they're reading because they're a certain distance away from the screen. And we also are on trend with from the insights that we collect on what job seekers really want to hear about what a job entails. So what the contribution of the role, what that person will be doing when they're in the chair and they're either looking at the computer or they're on site at a or they're driving a truck or whatever that people are recruiting for. So.
Okay. So David, for I guess particularly because I'm more talking to smaller recruitment agency owners, for those guys who don't have, they don't have deep marketing pockets or as deep as some of the bigger guys, and they're looking at video. What would you suggest if they're sort of getting up off the ground with video? Where do they start?
Yep. Besides using my product.
Besides using your products.
Well, everyone's got a phone, so you can start by just grabbing your phone, sticking it in the right position, and just start recording. Small businesses, small recruitment companies. I was one of them. They've got great stories to tell. They know their clients really well, and it is a huge advantage to be able to say that showcase the job to the job seeker what their value proposition is. So the premise of recruitment generally is that companies can't find people themselves, or they don't want to, and that's why recruiters exist. But recruitment companies have really interesting stories, and all of them have very unique value proposition. It could be for how long they've been around as a company, how long the recruiter has been working as an agency for, the relationship that they've got with the customer, or what if they've actually worked in the field in that particular area before being a recruiter. Recruiters all have a very unique value proposition, and you can showcase that really powerfully through video and create connections to the job seeker so that they feel, one, the position's real, and two, they can actually get it if they do apply or reach out to you.
Actually, that's a big one, isn't it? Because that's always been a problem for they see all the jobs and they're saying, oh no, are they real? But I guess no one's going to take the time to make a video on a job if it's not real. Yeah, okay.
That's true.
And do you have any feedback, like anecdotal or otherwise, on people that have been videoing their jobs and what difference that's made to their stats or their business?
Yeah, it's certainly made an incredible improvement, particularly to the early adopters, people who are using our tech. As an example, one of our more avid users is People to People, Mark Smith. He's a terrific leader. We're actually showcasing Mark at the RCSA conference in Fiji, where he's going to get up and just talk about what he's done with creating videos. Great. So the stats that I have as today, they're pretty on point. So in the last 12 months, Mark's business created 450 videos, and they're not all jobs. There could be them just meeting a candidate, interviewing a candidate, and pushing that across as well. Their business in total has had over 108,000 video views. And we track a video view for over 30 seconds, and he's had over the past 12 months 85,000 minutes watched, which is 3,564 days. Now, that's really powerful because you can imagine if you were to break that down, if a recruiter was to have a job and they were to push that video out, that video could get 1,000 video views. Now, we track engagement for 30 seconds. There's no way a recruiter within a week will talk to 100 people. No. Unless they're slamming the phones. They might get up to 200 people, but there's no way they're going to reach 1,000 people. And video is so powerful that people step forward and they'll inquire about the position as well. So even though he's got about 60 recruitment consultants, it's like he's got a sales force of 3 times that, because the videos are constantly working for himself, and his brand continues to rise. So
Great.
we'll be talking about that at the RCSA conference next week. But that probably answers your question.
Yeah, and it's a critical point for small, because quite often, you know, the smaller recruiters are like, how do we stand out in the crowd? How do we get credibility? How do we punch through? And they're really busy. So anything that can do that and leverage time as well is you know, time well spent, I guess.
Look, I'll give you just one more example.
Sure.
Or something for your viewers to consider as well. Our information tell us that there's 7,900 recruitment companies in Australia and New Zealand. Now, I'd say this is a pretty new process, creating a video with a job. Say Seek, for instance, every day on average over the course of a year, they'll have in the vicinity of 150 to 160,000 jobs promoted on their platform on Seek and in Australia and New Zealand. So then you've got LinkedIn, you've also got other job boards. They all have jobs. Now, I'd say 0.00001% are creating a video with a job. And that's the reality of it. So if you do want to cut away from the pack and you want to add some additional services to when you're pitching for new work, because typically a recruiter will get the same question, how are you different from other recruitment companies?
Yes, yeah.
You could simply say, look, I'll create a video on your behalf, and it is really powerful. And it is a really good way to stand out, and it's relatively new.
So what is it that we need to get up? So those out there who are just a little bit reluctant but really want to have a go, what is it they need to get over to get those live? Is it
look, our software does make it a lot easier to be able to do it, obviously. But look, most products are supporting YouTube. LinkedIn have just gone to YouTube, Seek support YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, if your video is less than 60 seconds. So you can create a video, you can do it, just pick your phone up, it's really powerful, and do it. Yeah. What our software does do is it gives you a silhouette, a teleprompter, there's lots of other really cool functionality in there, and then it washes your brand so that your logo's over the top with all your digital assets like your colors, so that you can just film it really quickly, edit really quickly, and then distribute that wherever you want, and then you get all the analytics back, so you know where your audience is coming from.
Brilliant.
So if you're running a graduate campaign, for instance, and you think Facebook's really good, you don't know until you post that to YouTube, and then you can compare what the analytics are like. So
that's terrific. And you've got. I know you're starting to do integrations with CRMs as well, aren't you? You're starting to. So that'll make it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's so JobAdder we're connected with, and a few other ATSs or CRMs. But yeah, it does. You don't really need it, to tell you the truth. You don't really need the connection, but it does help if you do have it. But look, getting started is really, really easy. It's just, if you've got an appetite to do it, just go for it. Give it a go, and you might feel a little bit clumsy at the start because you've never done anything like that before. But the practice makes perfect. It's like anything.
Yeah,
just keep doing it, and you get better and better.
I don't know about you, but sometimes when I watch videos and they're not perfect and someone slips up or something, it just makes them a bit more human. It's not, we're not all newsreaders.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, you'd be surprised. The best videos that we've seen with the analytics are just people who are stuttering. They're doing things that are a little bit unusual, but they're just being authentic. And great video is about being authentic. And when you're filming from a phone, it is looking a bit edgy, so it does look a bit real. Job seekers or people buy into that humility and authenticity, as opposed to having all the bells and whistles and making it look really cool. And at the end of the day, like a job, it should be down real quick. Like within 2 to 4 weeks, you should be able to move on to your next job. So it goes up really quick, it comes down really quick. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be powerful with your voice, your message that you're pushing out, and not necessarily selling it with with the knives. You're just being authentic and giving them a call to action. It's like, hey, you've got a real job. Come back to me if you tick these boxes, if you really believe that you can do this. Yeah. And you'll find that they do that. They do reach out.
Okay. And what and just sort of, I guess, with video in mind as well, and you've been in recruitment, you've been around the industry for a long time, what is it that you think is coming up next in recruitment, or what are the things that we need to be mindful of now?
look, I'm fan, particularly in the last couple of years since I've been doing Videomyjob, and just seeing all the different software and company owners who own technology and all the efficiencies that they're creating within the recruitment sector. So there's just so much out there, and I think just in general, recruitment companies will adopt technology, and with that, I think a real trend will be for people to employ people who can implement software correctly, so an implementation consultant. So for instance, our product, we sell it also to corporations, corporate companies. Australia Post are one of our biggest clients. There's a number of banks using our software. They have a team of people who implement Videomyjob. Not that it's complex, but they just don't want to waste any time because it does contribute to money, and they want to do it the right way. So I think a real big trend is either working with external consultants to implement technology correctly so that the agent or the company owners can get up to speed really quickly without fumbling and working it out themselves. And secondly, just getting in to work with technology. Could be an onboarding experience. There could be another LinkedIn that comes out that's really trendy. Like software creates so many efficiencies.
That's such good advice, David. And somebody from you, is like yourself, I guess, is a little bit unique in that you were very technically savvy with the recruitment. But I guess there's a lot of recruiters out there, recruitment owners out there, who aren't so their skill lies in recruiting and running their agency. And I think sometimes it can be a bit daunting, and we can suck up a lot of time working out which way to go with tech. So that's really good advice.
Yeah. So like I know that personally. So we have implementation consultants who work at Videomyjob, and we will partner with the company so that they can embed it. It breaks our heart if they purchase our product and they don't use it that much, or they don't use it as well as what they could, because it does represent our brand as well. So we'll work closely with anyone who purchases Videomyjob, and I reckon that is something that other software companies are also popping in, because like recruiters are busy and company owners are busy. I was one of them. I was scrambling all the time. I was a phone call away from being distracted.
yeah, exactly. And God forbid if you went onto social media. And so that's all terrific, and I think that gives a really good, you've given the helicopter view, but also some really nice tactical pieces there as well. Is there anything else that you think would be, given sort of sitting in your chair, that would be of value to our audience?
Look, I think the premise that recruitment is marketing and building your own brand, your company brand and your personal brand. I think that's where.
Whoops, we've lost you. Oh, there you are. Thought you jumped off the chair for a minute.
That's where I think I did. That's a good question. Look, I think just change. It's just happened so much in the last since I've been in recruitment. So just accepting that that's just the way it is. People. There's technology change, but there's all sorts of change in behaviours as the generations come through as well. And what you'll find, or what your audience will find, is anyone who's under 25, they're really app savvy and they're quick. And I reckon companies should just embrace the speed, because change is a good thing, and software enables so many efficiencies, which I think I've already covered. So
brilliant.
Hopefully that helps.
No, it's brilliant. Thank you. And David, so congratulations on all you guys have achieved so quickly. Well done. And that wasn't meant to sound as patronising it is, but congratulations. And if people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do it?
Yep, so my email address is david@videomyjob.com, but that's the best way. Or I'm on LinkedIn as well. They can reach out there. I'm always on LinkedIn, and that's definitely the easiest way to get in touch with me.
Brilliant. Okay, well, look, thank you so much for coming on at very short notice, and all the best. And we look forward to seeing how your product develops over time. Wish you all the very best.
Yeah, thanks. Nice to chat with you.
Thanks, David.
See ya.